What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Tis me again, Tom. Back with another breakdown of MTV's The Challenge War of the Worlds 2, episode 12. We're coming down the home stretch here. Please remember to give the video a like if you like the video. Hit me with that subscribe, but other than that, let's get into it. Kara thinks the proposal was staged. What do you all think? I think that's blasphemy. I think Kara can't tell the difference between real and fake if it hit her in the face. Yes, Team USA basically traded Jordan and Tori, two of their best competitors on their team, but Team UK still has some anchors. They got CT and Kaylee, both with big weaknesses in certain areas of the challenge, so Team USA is still looking good in my eyes in the final. Engagement party! Minus Kara. Kara holds on to her hate so much it prohibits her from having any happiness. It's sad, she's just miserable, like most of the time. Kara needs a break from the challenge. We get a little Rogan and D conversation, which is like a foreshadowing of later in the episode. But in this conversation, D's kind of relying on Rogan a lot emotionally, and I think that scares Rogan. D says that she would cry every day if he weren't here and she would melt. And yeah, I think that does scare Rogan, and I think that's a factor in him betraying her and trying to cut her loose and send her home. Along with maybe she's not ready for a final, and maybe just Rogan not too into her anymore. It's clear D likes Rogan way more than Rogan likes D, and it's kind of always been that way from what we've seen. Rogan asks Paulie a favor in this dark, eerie scene where Rogan says that he's ready to throw D in there, throw D into elimination. He wants Team USA to do it though. Rogan says he's fully prepared to throw the next daily challenge so they can get rid of D. This was very shocking. Didn't see this coming from Rogan. So we get to the daily challenge and we'll see if they hold true to their word. It looks like it has potential. We see a boat dragging along this long raft, which is like an obstacle course. And that's what they have to do. They have to complete this obstacle course. There's one person on the opposing team, which is the defender, who stands in the middle of this obstacle course and tries to knock the other person off. And so far so good. Tori just flies off, completely chokes, but another bad performance by Tori on this challenge. A little slip up there. Then it's the guys' turn, and as we know, as we heard earlier, Rogan plans to throw the challenge. So we see CT go up there. Zach's the defender on the raft. CT and Zach are about to go head to head in this sumo wrestle-esque type thing, and CT blatantly throws the challenge. Makes it very obvious, way too obvious, to the point where it's like disrespectful a little bit. CT said it was what he had to do to secure his position in this game. Thought his position was already secured, but I guess making a fool out of the challenge secured his position with Rogan and Joss, maybe? We'll see. So Team USA gets the win, and Cam is the tribunal spokesperson. She rounds it out with Leroy and Nani. Couple of reasons why she probably did this. Cam wants Leroy to vote with her instead of Nani, and she's kind of putting him to the test by choosing both of them in this tribunal. She wants to save Nani because they know all the females are going to be safe. They're okay with everybody on their team being safe this week as opposed to other weeks. So they're going to throw her a bone, but hey, don't get it wrong, she's on the chopping block next female elimination. Tribunal nominations, and they all choose Tori real quick. Bada bing, bada boom, welcome to Team UK, where we throw in our best players. It ain't a big deal. I don't think numbers have ever controlled a game quite like this. Numbers always are a huge factor in the game, but usually friendships, relationships get intertwined and kind of mess with the game. But numbers, nope, numbers. Doesn't matter who's strong, who's gonna be a good partner in a final? Just numbers. Cam asks Tori one of the dumbest questions ever. Why'd you switch teams? And Tori sums it up. Why do you think I switched teams? You threw me in. And you would have threw me in again. And again. And again. Because mainly, Kara really hates Jordan. And hates Jordan or obsessed with Jordan. Ooh, hot take. Kara's obsessed with Jordan. Yeah, I said it. Leroy and Cam want Nany to vote with them so everybody in the tribunal votes for the same person. Nany ain't down for that. She rides solo. Nany says Leroy wouldn't have joined Paulie's alliance so easily if it weren't for Cam. What do you all think? I think she's right. I think if Cam wasn't with them, there's a good chance Leroy and Nany would be in the same alliance. And I think that if Leroy and Nany were in the same alliance rather than Leroy and Cam, that would create bumps in the road for Leroy and Cam. After Nany defends herself on why she's not going to vote with them, Cam decides the conversation's over. And this is where we see Queen Cam, her royalty. I think this character kind of blends into her personality sometimes, and she doesn't even know she's doing it and coming off snobby. But at least I thought she was coming off snobby here, and kind of the whole episode just like trying to rip Nany from Leroy. Tori, preach! Tori says Team UK is literally going to a final, to run a final, to lose a final. And it's so accurate. Everybody's, like I said, it's just a numbers game. Doesn't matter who's the best on your team. They're just trying to get to the final. And they might not be happy with who they get to the final with, and might regret some decisions that they've made. We get to the club, and Leroy is explaining himself to Nany, Jordan, Josh, Zach, basically the other alliance on why he's doing what he's doing. Cam doesn't like it though, plays security, pulls him away from the conversation without really taking no for an answer, and then starts grilling him, telling him he shouldn't explain himself to them, and that they don't have his back, and they would never have his back, and don't talk to them in front of another group of people or something. Cam has something against people talking in front of groups of people. I don't know what that is, but she's got a problem with it. Cam's kind of having a power trip during this episode a lot of the time, and during this scene too, telling Leroy not to explain himself to Nany. Nany doesn't have his back, and how Nany should be thankful for the position she's in. It's like, she's still on the bottom of the totem pole, you know, Cam. Like, she's not dumb. She knows she's next on the next female elimination day if they lose. Cam goes on an ego rant while Leroy tries to calm her down. The stop count gets to 7, ends with, "Can you do me a favor, Cam? Can you stop?" Lee gets a little emotional here. It says that he wants to win, but above anything else, he wants to win with Nany by his side, and that would be such a sight to see. They have both been on many seasons without a victory, so for them to win together, that would truly be a great moment. This game has consumed Cam, but it seems like she comes to her senses towards the end of the episode, somewhat towards the end of this conversation, but we see they get home and an explosion occurs. Nany gets into their room while they're talking, and Kara says, "Oh my god." So then Nany kind of gets mad and says, "Oh, what are you talking about? What were you talking about? Tell me." So she just gets loud, calls the girls out. Cam and Nany get into each other's face with Leroy in the middle. Basically, this picture symbolizes the whole episode. Leroy in the middle of Nany and Cam. They almost come to blows. It was getting a little scary there for a second. They were getting sassy with each other, but Leroy calms them down and they go to bed. Cam apologizes to Leroy at the end of this argument. I hope it's for the right reasons. Then we get Paulie with his 2 gullible goofball alliance members from Team UK, Joss and Rogan. Rogan seems strangely excited about throwing his girlfriend into elimination. It's kind of weird. Paulie says that the best chance they have of throwing Dee in without creating too many waves is probably getting into Leroy's ear since he's in the tribunal. So that's what they do. Paulie and CT talk to Leroy. CT says that nobody can know, it has to be a blind side, and Leroy is not down with that. Says he has to at least tell the girls on his team, give them a heads up of what's going down. And by doing that, chaos breaks loose. Shit hits the fan. Dee finds out by hearing from CT. Now, Rogan asks CT to tell Dee about what they're planning on doing because he's too scared. Come on, Rogan, this is your big play. Grow a pair and face the music. You're gonna have to sooner or later. You can't avoid her forever. So yeah, CT tells her, and she goes right into Rogan's room. Awkward. What do you all think? Does Rogan want to throw Dee in just because he doesn't think she's ready for her final? Or are there other variables? Is he not that into her anymore? This is basically where they break up. Moment of silence. Well, hope to see them on Battle of the Exes 3. Get to the elimination. It is a female hall brawl. Let's get it. Apparently, Ashley says this in a confessional. It's the first time two females have went head to head in a hall brawl. I thought that was BS. I started to think back. I remember when Wes went against Big Easy in that hall brawl, and Wes went in with a girl. So did Big Easy, but it was a different type. It was a different iteration of hall brawl where there was one defender while there was one runner. So they were playing at the same time. So I guess, yeah, technically, I think Ashley is right. This is the first time two females have gone head-to-head in a hall brawl. We know Tori is playing. We just got to find out her opponent. You see Nani obviously not voting with Leroy and Cam. She votes for Kaylee. Cam votes for Jenny, and Leroy follows suit and votes for Jenny as well. Wait, they voted Jenny? What did I just watch for an hour? So you're telling me... Let me get this straight. You're telling me Team UK threw the daily challenge just to throw in the two strongest females on their team? I guess, why am I surprised? This really is a new low for Team UK though. I mean, I thought throwing in Georgia was the lowest they can get. They just created a new low. So it's in one corner, Tori, the real deal. And in the other corner, it's Jenny, the Terminator. Round one. Tori surprises me, gives Jenny a little whiplash. Hits her hard, but they kind of get stuck in the middle. They release from each other. And Jenny, even though Tori had a couple of steps in front of her, Jenny almost catches up, dives for the bell, and they don't know who rang the bell first. TJ has to go check the tapes. Tori gets it by 0.2 of a second. That's gotta feel good. And then round two, she goes in and CHOO steamrolls Jenny. What? That's about the last thing I was expecting. I know Tori's strong, but that strong? To steamroll, to just deck, to plow Jenny? Just bodies her. Flattens her. Oh man. Nothing Jenny can do. Tries to hold on to a foot, but it's all over. Tori wins 2-0. Sends Jenny home. And immediately after, Tori instills fear into every female, maybe on planet Earth. Oh man, crazy elimination. Thought Jenny would put up a bigger fight than that, but I guess Tori is unstoppable, invincible. But hope to have Jenny back. She was a good addition to the show. And Tori goes on. She stays in the game. We'll probably see Jordan in the next elimination. I feel like it's just gonna be Jordan, Tori. But we'll see. On the next we do see the challenge. It's a purge challenge, it seems like, where swimming plays a major part. I think there's a puzzle added to it as well. It sounds like the slowest guy and girl go home. They said pair. I don't know if people pair up before this challenge or if it's just the slowest guy and girl go home. If it is that, you gotta be scared for Leroy. I think by far the worst male swimmer. So it's not a good look for him, left on the cast, that is. And then for the girls, probably Kaylee, maybe a chance of Cam. What's today's weather? Kaylee with a chance of Cam. Either one of them will probably go home, but I could be wrong. What do you guys think? Who will be going home if it's a purge challenge and swimming plays a major role? But that wraps up my breakdown for episode 12 of MTV's The Challenge War of the Worlds 2. It has been fun. Feel free to give this video a like, hit me with that subscribe, and be sure to tune in next week for episode 13, and I'll get my breakdown out for that as well. But until next time, peace out.